hour all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two, count them, two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it. But there's just one other piece of it that you should know. From your side of the TV screen, you will mostly see changes in terms of who's in the anchor chair. And actually, everybody who's going to be in anchor chairs from here on out are great colleagues and great at what they do, and you are not going to be disappointed in who's on our air and what you're going to be seeing. But one thing you cannot necessarily see is that the people who get our shows on the air, they're really being put through the ringer. Dozens of producers and staffers, including some who are among the most experienced and most talented and most specialist producers in the building, are facing being laid off. They're being invited to reapply for new jobs. That has never happened at this scale in this way before when it comes to programming changes, presumably because it's not the right way to treat people, and it's inefficient, and it's unnecessary, and it kind of drops the bottom out of whether or not people feel like this is a good place to work, and so we don't generally do things that way. Maybe all of our folks, including most of the people who are getting this very show on the air right now, maybe they will all get new jobs here, and I hope they do. But in the meantime, being put in this kind of limbo, the anxiety and the discombobulation is off the charts at a time when this job already is extra stressful and difficult. It is not news for me to tell you that the press and freedom of the press are under attack in a way that is really, it's a big deal for our country. It's very visceral for us here. I know that the business of the press is not an easy thing, and I know that no job is forever. But I think I'm safe in saying for all of us anchors who you know through the TV, please know that what pains us the most is not what happens to us. It is what happens to our coworkers on whom we depend and who you don't necessarily know, but we respect and love them and depend on them. And did I mention we respect them? This is a difficult time in the news business, but it does not need to be this difficult. We welcome new voices to this place and some familiar voices to new hours. It's going to be great, honestly, and we want to grow and succeed and
will be Joy Reid's final show on MSNBC. Single tear, white woman tears happening right here, Joy. She was officially fired over the weekend because she's a racist, horrible news anchor with no ratings. And that's really been the truth for a long time. MSNBC's under new management, and I guess they decided to come to grips with reality.
Hey YouTube, so today I want to talk about allyship versus being an adversary. And I watched Rachel Maddow's her take about MSNBC and all the firing that's going on, and also her love and admiration for Joy Reid, and it took my breath away because that's how it's done. Rachel Maddow talked about how she was 51 years old. She's been working since she was 12 years old, and she has never had more admiration respect and love for a colleague the way that she does for Joy Reid. And I thought to myself, it was such a beautiful thing to see. I went on Instagram, TikTok, and I was seeing messages like this for Joy, like all across social media, which is a true testament to her character and what type of person she is. I seen the press secretary, not the one that we have now, but the one in the Biden administration, Karine Japere, I can't pronounce her last name, I'm sorry, but I seen her make a warm felt tribute to Joy. Don Lemon, I mean, the list goes on. And I think when people show up for you in your time of need, when something bad is happening to you or something unfavorable is happening to you, it shows a lot about your character, what type of person you are, and what effect and influence you've had over people. And it made me love Joy that much more because it kind of showed that she's a decent, good person off camera as well. Because remember, we don't know these people personally. We know that we like their message. We know that we like their advocacy. We know that we agree with them, or we may disagree with them with certain things, but we know we like their persona, but we don't know them personally. So when you see people come out the way that they have for Joy Reid, it's truly a testament to her character. Joy is very smart. She's a very smart woman. And not only is she smart and accomplished, but she seems like because of all the tributes and the outpouring of love, she seems like she's a good person too. And that means everything. Because to me, the type of person I am, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter your credentials, what college you went to, what place you work. How do you treat people? How do you show up in the world? What will your legacy be? What will people say about you when you're not here anymore? And what Rachel Maddow did, I promise, it was so heartfelt and it meant so much and it resonated with me so much because it was women. It wasn't only women supporting women, but it was like good-natured, righteous people supporting each other and testifying and giving a testament to somebody's character. And to me, that's beautiful. And so that was a part of Rachel Maddow talking about Joy Reid. The other phenomenal thing that she did, she called out her employer. She called out the organization she works for, which is very difficult and is very brave and righteous. And Rachel Maddow gets my utmost respect. She sat on that network and criticized that network publicly. And in our country right now, there's so many people that are falling in line. There are so many people that are just going with whatever just so they won't be ostracized or attacked. To see someone with such a great character to be able to call out their network and say the hard truth was remarkable. And she talked about being genuine, and she talked about being kind and respectful to people. And she basically said the way MSNBC is doing it is not the way it should be done. And I just thought that was amazing. And then on the other, so Rachel Maddow gets all my love, all my respect. I appreciate what she did. It was powerful. It was really powerful what she did. And so that was on that side. On the other side, we have Megyn Kelly being the worst part of this country. It's difficult for me because I'm trying very, very hard to be like really positive and just like, because I believe in energy. I believe whatever you give out, you get it back. And so I don't like talking about Megyn Kelly because I have nothing nice to say. Nothing nice to say about this woman. So I try very hard not to talk about her because if I literally get a visceral reaction when I have to talk about her because she's awful. She's really, really awful. And I know she's a very popular YouTube personality. She, like, you know, she's had success, and she's a journalist and all of these things. She's a very accomplished person, but in my opinion, her soul is not right. So I don't care how accomplished she is. I don't care what school she went to. I don't care her credentials, what degrees, none of that matters. She seems like an awful person. Because here's the thing, and I thought about this morning, and like I said, the reason it's difficult to talk, because I want to say so many things, but I want to be on the right side of Christ. I want to be righteous. I want to be decent. So the things that I would say about her will not get me into the kingdom. I am still a work in progress, baby, because the things that I want to say, God would not be pleased. And so I'm not going to say them. But what I am going to say is she went after Joy. And Joy, Don Lemon yesterday called her a racist. I absolutely 100% believe that Megyn Kelly is a racist. And I don't use that word lightly. I am not a person that says everything is race, this racist, this race. No, because to me, it watered down the term when people do that. So I have no interest in doing that, because racism is alive and well. Racist people do exist, but everything is not racist. And when you throw it out like that, it makes the meaning less powerful. Like, it's not as, I'm at a loss for words, but it's not, you use it, you say it when it's true, because we don't want people to kind of get used to, oh, well, you know, they call everything racist. That's not, because it's not going to ever affect change. But Megyn Kelly, 100%. Not even just the black, I have people in my life literally refer to her as the blackface lady. When they talk about Megyn Kelly, they're like, oh, you're talking about the blackface lady? That's literally her name in like the circles that I'm in. So that's that. But not even with the blackface. It's the way she goes after women, period, but black women in particular. Now, when she does her coverage, because I've watched her a couple of times, when she does her coverage, she goes after women, period. It seems like she hates women, period, in my personal opinion. But the way that she goes, I mean, because you can literally Google her attacks on women, whether it's Taylor Swift or Fonnie Willis or Letitia James or Kamala Harris. I mean, the list goes on. But when she does it to black women, there's these dog whistles. It's about someone being unintelligent or DEI, or they don't deserve these things. When I listen to her, and I don't make a effort to listen to her, I've listened to her a couple of times. I can hear the dog whistle. I can hear the bigotry. This person is not worthy. This person is unintelligent. The things that these stereotypic ideologies and these things that people say about black women, it's all on her page. And of course, she has her audience. She has a big audience. She has an audience that want to fight and want to be in the comments and tell you you're stupid, you're DEI, you don't deserve anything, you're black, go back to Africa. Go back to Africa, let's have a conversation about that just a little bit. I can't go back to a place I've never been. It's stupid. And the thing is like, when someone's trying to offend you, I can't get offended because you're stupid. Like, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be offended because apparently that's what you want. But it's very difficult when you're being idiotic. Go back to Africa. I've never been to Africa, first of all. Second of all, my ancestors built this country. This is my country, okay? So I'm not going anywhere. Thank you. So there's that. And in regards to Megyn Kelly, she just seemed like such an awful person. She went on to call Joy racist. And say that she's pretty awful, her ratings is horrible. See, Megyn Kelly, it's almost like she, I don't understand, because, okay, so she talked about Joy being fired and her being kicked off TV. Megyn, you were too, for wearing blackface and being a bigot. She talked about Fonnie Willis and went after Fonnie Willis for having an affair, or not having an affair because I don't believe she was married, but sleeping with a man or whatever the case. Megyn, I know because you have such a large following that you're starting to like not believe your shit stank. But remember, it was all the talk. It was big, big, big stories that you slept your way to the top. So when you are throwing out these when you're throwing out these daggers and you're attacking people's character, you probably should stay away from things that was once said about you too. Because I remember people talking about you sleeping your way to the top. I'm not going to get into details because I wasn't in a bed with you, so I don't know what happened. But I know that there was talk and speculation about you sleeping your way to the top. So you should be very careful when you antagonize people and you talk negatively about people, about things that were once said about you too. And it's like, I don't know if she's like having a like identity crisis or something, because the things that she attacks people on, those things were done or said to her. She was fired. Joy was fired. Megyn, you were too. You were fired too for being a horrific person. Joy was fired because she was speaking truth to power, my opinion. But those are very different things. Megyn, those are very different things. You were fired for being a racist. Joy was fired for speaking truth to power. Who do you think God will be pleased with? Okay. Also, you antagonize women. I mean, she went after Taylor Swift. I mean, to say that this woman do not like women, you can Google it. She goes after women relentlessly. And she mocked Joy being fired and laughed at Joy being fired. But you send your ass on YouTube with the rest of us. You're not on TV either. You're not working in legacy media either. So it's like, what? This woman. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about being an ally versus being an adversary. Megyn Kelly is truly, genuinely an adversary to, I think, to human nature. Like, I think to the world, but Black people in particular, women in particular. Rachel Maddow is an ally. What she did yesterday was beautiful. And it was beautiful, but it also was a testament to her character, and it was a testament to Joy's character. What Megyn did, and I'm going to include the clip, what she did was a testament to her character. Mocking, laughing, being funny, trying to be funny. Nothing's funny about it. I ain't never heard her say nothing funny ever in life. But trying to be funny at someone's expense or at their demise, or not their demise, because Joy is going to be perfectly fine. People like myself are going to make sure of it. I'm going to follow every single thing she does. I'm going to show up for her because I believe she's on the right side of things. I believe she was fired because she spoke truth to power, and she basically is going against, I wouldn't necessarily say going against the administration, but holding the administration accountable. And that's what we want in this democracy. We want power to be held accountable. And that's what Joy was doing. So in my opinion, she's on the right side of things. In my opinion, Megyn is not. Megyn, and even think about all of these, I mean, just go on her page, or her channel. Don Lemon called her a troll, and I'm like, that's exactly what she is. The way she goes after trans people, the way she goes after women, the way she goes after DEI. Her platform is basically going after people, being antagonistic, being disrespectful. A troll. That's what trolls do. They log onto the internet and be mean. And that's what she does. She don't be productive. She's not bringing peace into the world. She's not bringing information. She's being mean. She literally gets off on being mean, which is disturbing, because it's not possible to have peace in your life if that's the way you show up in the world. You can't go home and be peaceful. I can bet, I mean, we will never know, but I can bet she is not peaceful in her mind and in her spirit, because you don't show up into the world and cause all this havoc and then go home and be peaceful, unless you're a sociopath or a narcissist. And I'm not claiming anything, but that's in my mind, that's the only way that you can do that. You can put so much venom and destruction and hatred into the world and then go home and be like, do. You can only do that if something is psychologically wrong with you. because you can't. I mean, she's on her platform yelling, cussing, saying the F word. And it's like, you have children. You have children. So the minute someone does something she don't like, go fuck yourself. I'm like, what? You're like 50. You're a grown ass lady. Like, have some decorum. Like, behave like a grown ass lady. Like, the minute somebody say something you don't like, they can go F themselves. It's like, child, you need a little, you know, because I'm working on my energy. I'm not going to go there. So, this video, what I wanted this video to be about is allyship versus being an adversary, right? If you happen to be a white woman and you're watching this channel, you're watching this video, please be a Rachel Maddow and never a Megyn Kelly. I was about to say the other Megyn McCain, but this video not about her. Don't be her either. But be a Rachel Maddow. Be an ally. Be someone who advocates for righteousness and for justice and stand up for people, even if you don't share their identity, because people think that it's a weird thing where it's like you can only identify with somebody if you have the same identities. No. You identify with decency. You identify with righteousness. I don't have to have the same identity as you. I don't have to have the same even ideologies as you to be empathetic towards you, to understand you, to advocate for you. It's called being decent. And that's what Rachel Maddow is. And that's what that's what Megyn Kelly is not. So that's what this video is about. I will probably make a video later because I also wanted to do a video about the Don Lemon and Megyn Kelly of it all. But to be extremely honest, you guys, I don't like talking about Megyn Kelly. It really, like I said earlier, I have a visceral reaction. I don't like talking about her. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make that video because I like to be happy and talking about her does not make me happy. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a phenomenal day. Bye.